Okay, guys, we're back. This is part 3, I believe, and we're going to break down this offense in its entirety. We showed you the defense. We showed you all the setups we got, really, and we just mixed in other stuff throughout the game. And guys, defense is about adjusting. I can't say that enough. And I'm actually going to get the recommended team so I can show you a depth chart for them. So we'll just. I know we love Dallas, but we just can't. They're just not. They're not the most effective team to run this with. That's just a fact. What you want is you want a team that's like you need two good blitzers. Let's think if we can just think of a team here. Two good blitzers. Okay, any team that has two good blitzers can run the scheme. You need a running back who can catch out of the backfield. And you need 3 wide receivers and 1 tight end. What team does that come to mind? Well, New England can run the scheme. They're not the most effective team, though. Let's talk about the most effective team that I think can run the scheme. You can actually do it with a lot of teams. But in terms of quarterback play, you also need a quarterback with decent accuracy for the most part. And so that's going to lead me to the Chicago Bears for the most part, guys. You can't go wrong picking the Bears this year. They're just solid all across the board, and they do have 2 good blitzers that we can utilize in our scheme. And actually, it does take away their weakness on their one weakness on defense, the Nick Roach project. Who has no strength at all, just speed, and so we're going to get him out of the play, out of the scheme. You're actually going to have better pressure out of your 5-man, 6-man, and 3-man, and 4, whenever you blitz your line down. So they might be just a little better, the Cowboys, in running this scheme, and that's why we're going to pick them, and especially simply because of their offense, guys. So we're going to break down the depth chart real quick for you here. All right. Hopefully you guys can see this. Yeah, you guys, this is a little bit better quality, I think, than the other way we did it. So we're going to try to do it from this. I've got Cutler, of course, Forte, of course, but do not sleep on Lorenzo Booker and Michael Bush. They are solid. We're just going to do it like that. Fullback, there's no fullback in the system. I'd just put Michael Bush down there if you want to run some fullback dives out of goal line. Now, like I say, guys, Hester is what opens up the scheme with the Bears. And a lot of people are going to hate on me for doing this, but it's the most effective way to run the scheme, and you can actually do it without doing it. So if your league has some rules or something like that. But let's look. We're looking for a spectacular catch and catching traffic type of guy. So we'll go to catching traffic, and I'm sure it's going to be Brandon Marshall. We see Earl Bennett has 90 catching traffic, which is very good at 82 route running, so we are going to think about that. We see that Alshon Jeffrey has 82 catching traffic and 89 spec catch. A very close second place, but Brandon Marshall, you can't compete with it. He's going to be our number 2 or 3 receiver. Now, the number 2 receiver, like I said, it needs to be your best route running receiver. That's Marshall as well. They may make the scheme better to put Marshall at the first receiver. Actually, that's what we're going to do. We're going to put Marshall at the first receiver. We're going to put Bennett at the second, and we're going to put Alshon at the third. You put Johnny Knox on the bench simply because he's not as good as Hester. You don't need more than one speedster on the field, in my opinion, especially for the scheme of running guys. Make your roster fit your scheme. Don't make your scheme fit your roster. If you want to run a certain scheme like this, which is very effective, do it like this. This is how it needs to be ran. All right, tight end. That's where Hester's going to go, guys, simply because Spade doesn't have the breakaway speed. You could still do it with Davis because we do it with Witt with the Cowboys, but he's not as effective as Hester because Hester has that breakaway potential. And this is how you have to hit Hester. You have to hit him quick, make that lack of catch and lack of catch in traffic not a factor. Put Hester on the outside if you wanted to, but he's not as reliable. Offensive line, you can do whatever you want, really. I like to have fast guards, so you can just do it that way if you want. If you don't, that's not that big of a deal. Offensive line is not a big worry, in my opinion. All right, let's get into this defensive roster. By the way, guys, your nose tackle needs to be big, strong, able to occupy blocks, especially against the run. We're not going to be bringing A-gap with him being kind of the focal point, so I don't have to worry about that. So we'll put Paia and Toina, the 2 Hawaiian dudes, I think is where they're from. We're going to put those guys there. Let's get into the backers real quick. Roach, you're on the bench, buddy, so because you're 83 speed, but you have no strength at all. Him and Hayes are fast, but they have no strength, so we're not going to play them, honestly. If you want better coverage, you can put them at the ends, but if they start running on you, I wouldn't recommend being them as a base. I'd recommend them being kind of a second, Like if they start passing a lot on you, I'd put them in. If they don't pass on you, or they're more of a balanced attack, I wouldn't have them in the game. And so we're going to expect most people to have a balanced attack, and but they are going to be backing up every linebacking position because the speed is very, speed is valuable to a certain extent. So we like to have some good backups with speed, and they're also going to be on special teams, which is kind of another thing we can get into at a later time in a different video. Rdikes is the dude here, in my opinion. He might be our dude. Yeah, 81. Well, maybe not. Let's look speed. Yeah, 83. But I think Rdikes has better pass rushing ability. I'm right. Should. Got 84 power boost from him. Got 86 from Wooten. But that 90 block shot's going to give it to him. Rdikes there. That's mainly your weakness. But don't sleep on him. He's not as big of a weakness as you guys think. And he actually in this scheme is going to be made out to be a strength. You aren't going to be able to call all your man plays. But I mean, you are going to be able to call most of your plays. I would recommend calling man. If you want to call man, then I would put Briggs here. Put Briggs here, and put Roach or Hayes at the second backer, and do it that way. We got Paella, and then we're going to have Wooten, and we will put those guys, Roach and Hayes, as backups. I think it was McClellan, right? 83 speed, yeah. That's how we were going to do it. Corners, Tillman, Jennings, Moore, and McManus. They do have some sleeper corners, Frey and Harden. Do get those guys on the field some. Free safety, we're going to go with Hayden simply because of the coverage. Wait, what else was I saying? Also, he has 66 strength, so he's going to come up and make plays on the run game. They have a lot of good sleeper guys in terms of safety play here. Harden is a nice sleeper. And I would just go with Conte as your third string. And so now you have basically some really good depth at the secondary. Major Wright is just a hit power monster. I believe his coverage is higher, and his catching, 73 catching, can't teach. That's good hands. Harden doesn't have that. I believe his tackling was higher, hit power, yeah, 93. Look at that, boys and girls. So let's get into the offense now. There's your depth chart. Here's your breakdown, boys. Alright, PA slot post. Let's go over just random play. See how the quarterback's back, guys. We talked about a little bit in the earlier video. That's our setup. We read Hester. So I'm just going to show you Hester here. And that's the key. That's the key to this play. Some people say it's because I cancel play action, but what happens is usually the guy that covers Hester doesn't really get him immediately. You have to run cover 2 to stop it. See how he kind of just waits there? I think it's because he's getting sucked down on play action. Because you see how he just kind of, it's a different drop back. It's just like, it's smooth, guys. So do have that. And then what's going to happen is if Hester's not there, we're going to progress to the post and just glance. And at a glance, you can tell if there's nobody in this little box here, and there's no user defender, you can hit that post. If there's only one, even if there's a guy on Jeffrey here. Say Carter was here on Jeffrey, you're still going to be able to hit this post. Okay, because you can kind of just pass lead it, and it's effective. And then we come over here to this out route. As you see here, it's definitely not open. See how he comes up and makes his break. It's not going to happen because the flat route, they're like a cover 2 scene, I think. So there's that. And then the last route we're going to look to is Marsh on this little kind of dig in route, and we'll show you all these routes. So now we're going to show you the base setup. I'll show you as we go along. We zig Hester, we wheel route Forte, we drag Bennett, and you could motion Forte out if you want. I actually do that a lot. So he's your first read, and a lot of times he's going to be wide open right there. If not early, he'll be open there. And see, if you want to get him open early, you would leave him in the backfield most of the time, guys. So let's go back over the base setup. We have almost every play, especially that DB on the left is back. And we're going to show you the second read. So that would be the X route. There you see it. You got to click on, and you just kind of want to drive your hit. You want to drive your guy right towards the pass, and that's how you want to hit that route. Now let's show you the out route. And then, of course, as you fall off swoop, just kind of a stop and plant, kind of how you do that. And now let's show you, I'm just going to max protect, well, we'll just run that play. I'm going to show you the little, that route you could hit probably in 3 different places, and that's kind of the key to the play. Even though he is your last read, against max coverage he beats it, against zone he beats it, and against any, you have to use or guard that route. Let's watch. See, if you pass lead down, he's going to get underneath for about 3 or 4, and it's going to frustrate your opponent that he can't guard it. Okay, let's actually go max coverage here, or max protection, just to show you this route. So you can hit it, and then look at that separation against man coverage. If you wait long enough, it's going to be wide open against man coverage. Now let's show it to you kind of in a window. You throw it like right there, he's in a little window. So if you make a quick read to the right side of the field and you see that maybe they're like a cover 2. Speaking of cover 2, bam! That was perfect, guys. So you see it right there. There's the read, and it gets right underneath it. So that's a quick little side note read you could make. Once again, here, kind of if he takes the flat immediately, you can kind of dig it in there. You pass it to the inside. I would recommend that. Now let's talk about this little wheel route. Say you're on a 2nd and 4, and the cornerback's back, but you can't put him on a 10 and out. You can leave him on this little route here. It does the same thing. It's still roast man coverage for the most part. Still very effective. So let's show it to you one more time. And the zone still sucks down. It's basically the same thing. Not as effective against zone as a deep out, but it's still very effective. Alright, now, so say they're overplaying that little flat route to Hester. This is what I do. It's like a mesh concept. And you're gonna have Forte. Your first read here is Forte. Then you go to Hester. Then you go to X. Then you go to Circle. And then Bennett's really not even a part of the play. But you can hit him if you see the 2 drag routes. If he opens up, you can hit him. It's not illegal to throw to someone who's not really designed to be thrown to. So there you got Forte. Against a blitz, Forte is gonna get open most of the time. Same play. See that little blitz there, and then see there, the X route gets open instead of the, or the square route gets open instead of the triangle route. See there, bam, and then you got that. So it's progression. Take away this, I do this. You just got to be on your reads. Don't be too quick to throw it. Be patient. Take what the defense gives you. Now you can also slant Hester. This actually does get more separation against main coverage than a drag. You see there, that's open, so we just take it. And it's just simple, easy reads, and they're all in progression. They all work off each other, so it's very good. Say I want to make a big play. This is what I do. I zig there. Now my first read is the flat. Still, I read flat, not open, but you read that, and you got this. And you want to get inside and go up for the ball. Most of the time, that guy won't even be in the play, but if he is in the play, you want to just pass lead inside and try to go up and get it. Just show you one more time. This time, yeah, same scenario. You want to pass it to the outside, but you want to get inside and try to make a play. And most of the time, you're not going to get picked. If anything, it's going to be a drop. But with Forte and his catching, that's not likely either. Now you got him in man coverage, and that's what we really want. And we get sacked. Yeah, we really love that. I love it when I get sacked and throw picks. Both I do both of them very often. Anyway, guys, see if we can get him in man one more time. Yes, he's in man here. You see the man. See, that's the Dallas defense, guys. They are very good still. Alright. Like, stutter. Same scenario. That was the zone. I want to get him in man coverage. This is why I need 2 controllers. See, there's the user catch. You just get underneath it. Superman jump too. So that's that. Let's go over verticals real quick. Gibbs did a video on this. Basically, he set everything up the same way. We just do this. And your read is circle quick, then R1, then the out route, then X. So circle quick, not there, R1, there. Just simple, easy reads. Yards after catches, the importance of the scheme. It's the importance of the West Coast offense as a whole. So let's go over that. And we always deep out. You can do the same thing. The left side of the field is basically do whatever you want. You can zig, wheel. I like to wheel whenever that's whenever I do this play, because you got that drag underneath. It actually does work a little bit better than reading circle first. So we just want to read triangle, square, R1, circle, X. Or you can go X or circle, either or. Just pick and choose whatever you think works best. If they're in a zone, X is going to be open faster than circle is. So not there, and there. And that's great. Any quarterback other than Aaron Rodgers, you're going to get that sub. So that is one reason why we do recommend. I do recommend Packers to a certain extent. All right, let's go over why this play beats blitzes. Watch R1, wide open, and it's quick, way quicker than any defensive tackle or defensive end is coming at you. That's the purpose of it. So you just want to do this, and we got a deep out now. Now against this, I would read circle, R1, out. Circle, not there, and there. See how smooth it is, guys? That's verticals. Let's go over spacing. I think, what's his name? The dude from xsandOfootball.com did a video of this. This is what I would do. I would kind of blue route or wheel him. I like to leave Bennett on either a drag or a slant, and what you could do with Jeffrey is you could drag him, and your read is Hester, Jeffrey, Marshall. Hester, Jeffrey, Marshall. I can't say their names. I recommend them, but I can't say their names. Jeffrey will like this. This is a nice setup. It's a quick pass, basically a goal line, or if they're running a lot of zone or a short yardage situation. R1 is usually going to suck that down, and you got Marshall right there. And they're going to overplay R1 because we've been throwing that all game. That's another good thing to do. Now let's get into the far twins, guys. We are at 16 minutes. Okay. Slot corner. Basically, we run it basically stock. We just wheel route here. You can do whatever you want with Hester. He's the MVP of this system. Fade. You could streak. You could deep out. You could deep in. I gotta get my charger in. One sec. You could deep in. You could fade. You could drag. You could slant. Do basically whatever you want. You can zig. Zig's very effective. You want it to work off of what you're going to do with the R1 receiver. Basically, we're going to create a twins look every time we run this play. I wheel route Jeffrey for a snap throw. And the reads are, at this corner, the right side DB drops right off. You can hit Jeffrey quick. If not, if he stays on Jeffrey and they key on that, then we read to the left side of the field. You have a nice combination over here. You can streak Bennett if you want. I find it more purposeful to leave it on a drag against like a zone coverage. Forte is going to be your first read when you go to the left side, then Marshall, then Bennett, and then, of course, Hester if we need a user catch. Nothing else is open. So see how they leave him there? And you don't want to pass lead that. I actually pass lead that. That's why it wasn't complete. So you see that, guys? That's what you want to do. And so this is a slot corner base setup, guys. And see there, and you don't pass lead it, and he gets nice separation, and that's the purpose of the West Coast offense. So there's that. Now let's get into that's the slot corner, and I want to show you the rest of the reads there, so we're not gonna throw it to Jeffrey this time. And now you have here, and it's just a quick 2-3 yards. And that's the philosophy behind this scheme. We're gonna go right up and down the field on the opponent, short, big. That's the theory of the West Coast offense, guys. That's the way it's supposed to work. Let's go to Bennett now. See there, throw it. And that's the Dallas defense, of course, coming through. Because in practice mode, there is no such thing as pass protection when I'm on offense, but when I'm on defense, there is, for some reason. Alright, let's block aggressive just in case. Block aggressive, I think we picked up a lot of blitzes this year. You can see there, you just dump it. I'm mainly talking, guys, about the left side of the field now. What happens over there. And then I'm going to come back to Hester's route. You can streak him or you can fade him. Both are user catchable. I would streak against this look. If they're outside him, I would fade him. But if they're inside, fade. If they're outside, streak. So they're inside, so we fade. And now we're just going to show you Hester's route real quick. See how gosh dang, stupid computer. And guys, I'm showing these routes, and you're wondering why are you getting sacked? Well, because I'm waiting for a route that takes a little longer to develop. It's not really not the focal point of the play, and we're gonna have the ball out if they do something like that to us. So that's the point of that. There's the fade. You want to pass lead to the inside. Click on. make a play. Hester does have good spec catch, I believe, so it's going to work just fine for you. So that's suck quarter, really. Labbit, you can actually run it stock, and what you want to do is read the two flats. If they're not open, you have the corner. Just a very smooth play, and that's the purpose. I'm thinking about calling this offense like, I don't know, some kind of smooth nickname or something like that. Now let's talk about flats, and how I run flats. I usually only run this maybe 3 times a game. Zig Hester, wheel Jeffrey, or you could drag it. Well, we're actually going to motion. No, yeah, you want to wheel Jeffrey. You don't want to drag it. You got to wheel him, because we're going to motion Forte out. Watch Forte. Let him stand there, and then go. Yeah, let's talk about what happened. You see Forte ready to open late. On the play, let's go over the reads real quick. Your reads are, you're going to read the zig first, and then the flat to the right, and then if that's not open, you read the little slant post from circle. X or square is just kind of a route you want to kind of take the safety out of the option if they do have it like a cover 3. And then the wheel route is the money route of that play. So let's go back into that. That's your reads, though. You want to read zig, wheel from the right, R1. You want to read Hester, Jeffrey, Marshall, and then Forte. Hester's wide open. You want to throw that, and that's 10 yards, and it's going to frustrate the crap out of your opponent. He's going to have to stop. He's going to start spying guys, take that away, manning guys up on Hester, paying a lot more attention to Hester than he really needs to. So there's that route. Now let's show you the wheel route to Jeffrey. They don't guard that. That's a smooth play. You cut it in because you have blockers, guys. You can set up your blocks, and don't be afraid to not hit turbo right after the play, after you get the ball. Zig route is kind of my preference. You can drag. You can, again, guys, you can do a lot with that. So you can drag, slant, deep. I would recommend one of those 3. But I usually zig for the snap throw option every play. Then you have the flat route. You can pass like that. It does get picked if there's a zone there. So you really want to hit that a little bit before he gets in the zone. You want to hit him when he's between them. So like right at this point, right here is where you want to do it. So let's go over that again. Not there, right there. And if you pass it down into the inside, he's usually going to catch it. You're never going to get picked for the most part. I've never been picked on that play. And I don't like saying never because something always does come up, but so far I haven't been picked. Now let's show you Forte's route. Let him stand there and then go, and it's just smooth. You can hit him early, you can hit him late, you can just, if he's your main read on that play, it's a good blitz beater. It's just a very smooth play. Against 2-man under, it's going to roast it because he's going to beat his man every time. And against like a cover 3 look, they're going to the flat zone's going to take precedence at the post, so you can sometimes hit it early. So that's kind of the scheme there for that play. Now let's talk about curls. Curls is a very good play. We're going to run it the same way a lot of people ran it last year. Simply, but I'm going to wheel Jeffrey. That's the only hot route I make. And then your first read is Forte on this little snap throw. I only get picked if they run zone. So if someone if a backer follows him out, you can throw it. If he doesn't follow him out, I wouldn't throw it. Well, actually, no. You could throw it, but make sure there's not a cover 2 over there. Make sure they're not showing cover 2. Now, see, just a smooth. It's very, very tough to defend. You do have to have a flat over there, but once a flat's over there, guys, it opens up the rest of the play. That's just your first read. Once again, you wheel Jeffrey for kind of like a late option. He's your last read. I would say you want to go Forte, then you want to go Bennett, then you want to go Marshall, then you want to go Hester, and then last but not least, you want to go Jeffrey. You could actually blue route Jeffrey. Actually, that's probably a better option. I've been wheeling him every time, but actually blue routing him is a better option. So we're going to go to Bennett this time. And you want to time it. And as soon as he starts to turn, you want to throw it, and he's going to beat his man. It's a man coverage beater all day. And then the route by Marshall is going to be zone most of the time. He's going to sit underneath it, or Hester's going to burn it over the top. So you kind of pick and choose your poison. So here's Marshall, and he does beat man to a certain extent, especially with good catch and traffic. But against the zone, he really roasts this coverage, and you just want to hit him. You can actually hit him on the slant pattern. I'll show you here. Like right there, you can hit him. You got to click on though, so you have to hit circle and then triangle. But while running towards the ball, you don't actually have to hit triangle this year, guys. That's another tip. You don't have to hit triangle when you try to catch the ball. So that's that. On curls, let's go over Hester's route real quick. I'm not going to motion just because I'm not running that route. Passively to the inside. It's going to be man coverage. It's going to test zone coverage. And now let's go over the quick toss. I run this. Never run this if there's a guy over the center. So we're not going to run quick toss actually. We're on this PA waggle. You could wheel or you could swing. You can do whatever you want with Forte. I blue routing a lot. You want to read the left side of the field first, then you want to come back to the right. So basically we read swing, corner, and then we read these two underneath routes from Jeffrey and Hester. The swing's open, so you just take it. Swings aren't very effective, but it is what we have to do to get the play to work properly. Hopefully we can get a couple more minutes out of this video recording, because I'm on something right now. I don't want to leave you guys hanging again. This route by Bennett's a different kind of a corner route as well, so you do have to be careful in throwing it. And there's Jeffrey. And it's just a nice little underneath route. It'll beat man every time. You have to use or guard it. I think it does beat zones as well. Let's go into the quick toss now. This is a good look for it. If they have two down linemen, that's when you want to run the quick toss. Make everything look the same. You want to make it look like you're throwing a Jeffrey outside the backfield. And you're just doing this. And you just dip in and then come out. And that's just very smooth how it all works. Now they have a guy over the... Well, let's see if we can still run it. When they have a guy over the guy like this, you have your backer basically matched up one-on-one. You don't really have an opportunity to run the toss. Let's show you here. The backer should shoot through. If he doesn't shoot through, then I'm a liar. Okay, you see how he doesn't shoot through, but then that guy's going to block shed. So you're going to get either a shoot through or a block shed coming through there. You don't want to run it against like a 3-down lineman set similar to this. What you want to do against this is if you want to run the ball, you want to run a fluid dive. So we're going to make it look like the curls or the flats, and we just do this. Okay. So there's the two runs. Let's talk about the halfback sweep as well. Halfback sweep, same thing. Also, guys, when you run the ball, you want to slide protect opposite sides you're running. So I run left, I'm going to slide protect right. I run right, I'm going to slide protect left. When I run the halfback sweep, what I do is I slide protect left. I motion Jeffrey out to make it look like I'm running every other play that I've ran, maybe even running the quick toss, all of a sudden I run right. And you can do that with the halfback counter as well in the far twins formation. And halfback counter is actually your inside run. I'll show you that in a minute. We'll go over that. So there's that. Alright, as far as other plays I run, I do run the slant hook religiously. You can run it probably 3 different ways, guys. You just wheel both backs, and Marshall's the key. You can snap it right here, and then throw. If no one follows him out, that's what that's what I'm going to say. If no one follows Marshall out, you want to snap it there. Okay, and you want to hit him. And usually Marshall's not going to get, no one's going to really guard it. It's very tough to defend this play, guys. So no one's over there, so we just throw it, and no one's gonna guard it because no one's in a flat zone. If they're in a flat zone or man coverage, they're gonna go out there. If they're not gonna guard it. So there's that route. Let's go into now. If they follow him out, please follow. You want to snap it here and then throw it. Snap, throw, pass lead outside, and if you don't see any flat go over there, then you got him. If it's a flat zone, then you're in trouble. Don't throw it. And basically the way you can tell is if it's man, they're going to follow him, and their face is not going to be turned at the quarterback. If their face is turned at the quarterback, do not do it. Do not throw it, guys. I'm telling you right now, you will get picked. I just got a pick last game. It actually cost me the game. So there's that route. Guys, you can also mix in motion to the right if you want. There's a lot of things you can do. This is just the basic foundation. So here we motion Marshall out to the right. They follow. Say we want to read the right side of the field. Now this route in roast man coverage. The reason that I leave the hook route from the other guy is because it works well with the play. You can streak him, you can deep out, you can do whatever you want. But as far as timing of the play, it works well. Okay, you don't want to do. I don't really do anything with him. So say Marshall, say they got a flat zone, so nothing's open over there. So you come to the right side, you got a nice little man beater from the route by Hester. So there's that play. We're trying to get through this so we can get onto the full game, because it is 1 o'clock, guys, and I do want to do something else to do. So let's go over the bench switch. This is kind of like a hybrid version of slot corner. Basically, we're going to leave Hester on his route simply because it's like a check down. Forte, you can wheel or you can swing. I personally wheel just because it doesn't really interfere with the corner that big of a deal. But a motion Marshall, once he gets past Bennett, snap. He's going to come underneath everything, including man coverage. That's the key to the route, guys. Cannot stress that enough. It has to be right after. Also, guys, let's talk about why it has to be like that. Say I snap Marshall before he gets on the outside leg on the left side of Bennett. He blocks. Okay, he's going to block every time. So you don't want that. Another way, guys, and do mix in effective stuff, guys. Street, quarter, flat, combo, beat, zone. Just remember that stuff. We'll get all that stuff in for you in the written setups. But watch this. There's that, and then you read here. So you, the only reason we put, and actually, guys, I'm actually going to start doing this. You want to put Jeffrey on a wheel route, or a blue route instead of a wheel route, simply because it can help you in pass protection. He's not going to be really a part of the play. It's mainly the left side we're reading, and you want to go Marshall, then you want to go Forte and Bennett, and then you want to go to Hester late if nothing else is open. You see there, and then you got your blue route, and that's how the play works, guys. So there's that play. Now, we talked about PA Waggle, we talked about that, so we need to talk about the halfback counter, and then we're almost finished with this guide on the far tight twins formation, my favorite formation in the game. The only reason I run out of West Coast and not Houston like everybody else is for this formation. So talk about the halfback counter. Basically, when slide protect left, you can do different things. You can motion Marshall over, or you can motion Bush over. I personally motion Bush over most of the time. And what you get some nice zone blocking underneath. You get a pancake 9 times out of 10 from the center, and you get a nice couple yards. You can pinch line, or you can slide protect left. I personally pinch the line on this play because it's an inside run, and basically, if you just read and you get it it's like a stretch play almost, and it's very tough to penetrate. You have to be blitzing to do it. That's why this play is so effective. It makes your opponent have to blitz to stop the run, and that's what we want. And it's a nice, smooth play mixed in with the rest of the scheme. I actually am considering coming out far twice, maybe audibling into the PA slot post because of this, because I don't want it to tip my hand that I'm running this play. But this play is very effective, guys, so you do need to put that in your scheme. We'll talk about one other play, and then we're going to get out of here. We're talking about the X spot. So this is what we do with the X spot. Basically, this is a zone beater primarily. Everything's really the same. You want a blue route Bush, really, and what you do is motion Matt Forte out. And as soon as he stops, see how he stops here, you want to motion him in, and then takes a couple steps, then comes in, and then he's going to get right underneath most stuff. Really, anything but direct man coverage he's going to beat. When I say direct man coverage, as soon as he snaps the ball or somebody all over him, that's what this play is not effective for. But you want to motion, comes out here, then he comes in underneath. See, like that right there, it's not effective because he's not looking at the ball. So that's why it doesn't work against direct man coverage. When man coverage occurs, guys, just read to the left side of the field. If Matt Forte is not open, you're going to have this left side. So say we go to Marshall against man coverage because that beats man. You got a little dig route underneath that beats zone, and you got a post route that beats man, or zone rather. So this is a very good zone beating play for the most part. You do have one route that beats man in case you read wrong, but you see it's very effective against zone right there. Let's talk about a way to, if your opponent's overplaying this play, same setup, but this time you want to wheel Forte, motion him out, and instead of motioning back in, you just want to snap and throw. You can pass lead any really way. I personally pass lead to the inside if I snap throw it. If I delay throw it, I pass lead, I think, to the outside, maybe even up. So let's show you the delayed throw, and we get a nice little play there. And that's something you can mix in, guys. It's very effective, but that's really kind of a change up that I do. So I don't want them to know. I don't want them to key on that. That's kind of a once a game kind of occurrence. If you see it, man, just lob it. He's going to outrun him. So mixing this, guys. This is effective. This scheme is very effective when ran correctly. We're going to be back in about 5 minutes with a full game of me playing some dude online, and we're going to break it down for you guys. Some other plays: split pro halfback draw. Mess with that. I-form pro. All the plays in there are nice. Ace halfback stretch. Talk to Gibbs about that. Y trips, double China, very effective. Just mix in some other plays. I recommend you running every play in this playbook until you're comfortable running every single play in your book. Actually, I do want to show one more play, guys. This is kind of a red zone situation. Say we're down in the red zone, right? Let's get us down on the red zone here. Say we're down on the red zone. This is a play that Gibbs used to run in Madden 11. And basically what you want to do is you can do whatever you want with Hester. I personally am going to drag him. And what you want to do is you want to motion Marshall out. Let him set, and you want to throw it to Jeffrey. Almost all the time, Jeffrey's going to be wide open. If he's not open, you guys do need to make your reads, though. Don't just throw it blind. That's my biggest weakness. So he's not open. Say he's not open. Say he's not open. Okay, we got Hester underneath. If he's not open, it's going to be there in the zone, so the two drags are going to beat it. So that's kind of what we got here. And there's one more time for you guys. Pass lead anyway. I'm personally going to pass lead to the outside, maybe even up. But that's how we're going to run this play. And you could just fade Bennett for it if nothing else is open. But for the most part, see like here, you throw it up. I would just bullet pass it out. You don't even have to really pass. Let's see. Let's do some labbing here. It's not pass lead, and you see there's a shot. Catching traffic is effective. You could sub in Marshall over there for the catching traffic trait. One more time. That's it for the scheme, guys. We'll be back in about 5 minutes with a quick full game breakdown for you. Hope you enjoyed it. We're going to have everything written as far as the defensive setups go, and we're going to have offensive terminology, offensive kind of offensive tactics, and offensive tips broken down in our written format. But this has been a blast showing you guys the scheme. Hopefully you guys can do some stuff with it, make it effective, guys. But I will still be running the scheme. So now you guys know what I'm running. Let's see if you guys can stop me. Thanks. We'll see you guys. Enjoy it.